Coming up tonight on News Watch, a man is headed to prison for his role in a crash that killed a Coles County couple. We'll have the latest on the case that's gained national attention.
Plus, local gas stations are rebranding. We'll have more on which stations will be affected later tonight. Ben?
A pretty spring-like day today across East Central Illinois and a very nice sunset taking place, obscured by a few of those clouds off to the west of Charleston. We've got a little bit of everything in this 7-day forecast, a little warm, cold, and returning chances for snow. This is News Watch. Your Wednesday evening edition is coming up next.
The Charleston House proudly supports Newswatch. Now welcoming guests on Charleston's historic 6th Street, the Charleston House Bed and Breakfast Inn offers refined accommodations in a beautifully restored bed and breakfast. For booking information, visit craigcollection.com or call the number on screen.
TCI Realty, Charleston area's real estate connection, commercial, land and farm, and residential real estate. Experienced realtors with an up-to-date website at tcirealty.net. TCI Realty supports the students of WEIU Newswatch.
Alamo Steakhouse and Saloon. Whatever the occasion, it's an environment for an evening of dining, conversation, and cocktails. Whatever your needs, our staff is ready. Alamo Steakhouse and Saloon, located at the Cross County Mall, Mattoon.
A man accused of killing a Coles County board member and his wife in a DUI crash is sentenced. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Matt Williamson.
And I'm Olivia Bennett. Court records show Edwin Pacheco Mesa was given 16 years in prison for reckless homicide and driving under the influence. Officials say Pacheco Mesa was arrested in October, and the Department of Homeland Security says he's an undocumented immigrant from Honduras. They say board member Mike Clayton and his wife Gail died in the crash. The White House recognized the Claytons during a memorial for what the Trump administration calls angel families, those who have passed away in incidents involving undocumented immigrants.
In just a few moments, I officially sign a proclamation that I've been waiting to sign for a long time, including my first administration. There were so many different legal roadblocks, it was incredible. We got it done, and I'm doing it today. February 22nd is going to be National Angel Family Day. Very important. So many incredible family members and friends, parents and children.
Officials say they found an extended magazine, ammunition, drugs, and an open container in Pacheco Mesa's vehicle. They say the passenger in his car, Juan Morales Martinez, was arrested on drug and weapon charges. The Department of Homeland Security says Morales Martinez was detained by ICE after being released from the Clark County Jail. 3 local gas stations are in the progress of rebranding. According to a spokesperson from Casey's has acquired 3 Lambos branded convenience stores from Landman Oil in Charleston, Mattoon, and Tuscola. They say the Mattoon and Tuscola stores will open as Casey's stores later this week and will provide the full offerings, including pizza, hot sandwiches, and more. The Charleston location will be rebranded as a Good Stop by Casey's, which offers all the traditional items available at a gas station, but will not offer pizza and sandwiches.
A man is arrested on DUI charges following a hit-and-run crash in Decatur. Now yesterday, officers say they were dispatched near Oakland and El Dorado Avenue, where a 62-year-old pedestrian was hit by a Dodge Durango. Officials say she was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Later that day, Decatur police found and arrested 36-year-old Darkese T. Johnson. Court records show Johnson was charged with aggravated DUI, fleeing the scene, and failure to give information or aid. The Decatur Police Department says Johnson is being held in the Macon County Jail, and his pretrial release hearing is on March 11th. Following another car crash in Effingham, 2 men are facing criminal charges. On Monday afternoon, the Effingham Police Department says officers responded to a traffic accident at the intersection of Keller Drive and Marguerite Lane involving a vehicle that was reported stolen. Officers say the driver and the passenger of that vehicle got out from the car and ran from officers. Now later that day, Effingham police say both men were arrested, but they did not share who the suspects are or what they were charged with. We reached out to the Effingham Police Department with questions, and we're waiting to hear back.
Good evening. Very pleasant conditions today for your Wednesday across East Central Illinois. Looking off at our WeatherBug camera, looking off to the west, you can see just a little bit of that sunset just out of frame here. High temperatures today up into the 50s for a lot of us. Our warmest spot 53 down to the south in Effingham. Many of us, including here in Charleston, at 50 degrees for our high today. Area conditions right now are starting to cool off a little bit. We are still seeing some sunnier skies right now in Charleston, 48 degrees at this hour. Wind gusts are coming in quite weak from the west. That'll all start to change as we get to overnight, though. We'll see the chance for some mixed precipitation in the skies overnight tonight. Winds coming in pretty strongly from the north up to 20 miles an hour. That's going to be a little bit of a precursor to what we could see coming up this weekend, but I'll have the full forecast on that coming up in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Ben. The Arcola Public Library is providing a potentially life-saving service to the local community. Narcan is an emergency treatment for opioid overdoses, and it's now available for free at the library. Library staff says the nasal spray is kept in the library entryway. Library officials say you can ask staff for assistance or supplies. State law requires all Illinois libraries to maintain a supply of Narcan and ensure staff are trained to administer it. The Decatur Police Department is asking for your help to find a missing person. Police say 41-year-old Anthony Morgan's family hasn't heard from him in 3 months. They say he was in contact with social services on November 17th and hasn't been seen since. Police say Morgan has some health issues and there's heightened urgency to find him. Officials say Morgan is 5'8" and 135 pounds. If you have any information, reach out to the Decatur Police Department.
The Champaign County Board is officially backing Illinois' Rifle Act. The board passed a resolution to support the bill at its most recent meeting. The Responsibility in Firearm Legislation Act would require gun manufacturers to pay into a program, which they would then pay for the medical care of gun violence victims. Gun manufacturers who don't pay the fee would be subject to a monthly fine of up to $1 million. The Illinois State Rifle Association says it's a financial weapon aimed at the Second Amendment and would punish law-abiding citizens. If passed, the bill would not take effect until 2028. Local police officers braved some pretty icy waters this weekend for charity. Several officers from the Urbana-Champaign Police Department participated in this year's Polar Plunge for Special Olympics. The event was held at the Lake of the Woods in Mahomet on Saturday. The department has raised nearly $5,000 for Special Olympics Illinois, blowing past their $3,000 goal. Well, temperatures in Illinois certainly were not polar today.
That's right, Matt. Skywatch local forecaster Ben Whitney has more on what's ahead.
Exactly right. Very pleasant conditions today. We are starting to see some cooler temperatures off to the northwest in areas around Iowa and much of the northern part of the Midwest. Could that be on our way, and could that have an impact on our temperatures tomorrow? Your full Skywatch forecast is up next.
Hi, I'm Everett Lau, an Eastern Illinois University graduate from the class of 2021. As an Edgar County farm kid, I grew up with a childhood dream of becoming a broadcast meteorologist. I spent a lot of time in the WEIU studio during my 4 years in college, and that's how I got to this studio, WTHI-TV in Terre Haute, Indiana. WEIU prepared me for long nights of tracking thunderstorms, fine-tuning details of approaching winter storms, and how to be a broadcaster in general, whether it was weather, news, or even sports. I needed WEIU to achieve my dream, and now WEIU needs me and you to help carry out its mission of setting up students for success. Please consider making a financial gift to support WEIU so the station and its dedicated staff can continue operating this outstanding training ground for aspiring broadcasters, journalists, and scientists. Your gift can allow local students like me provide local programming for our local communities. Learn more at weiu.net or by calling the station. Thanks for watching.
Good evening. You'll see here on our national radar, we are going to start to see a little bit of that cool down. We have a few cold fronts pushing in from the north. Now, that won't cause temperatures to cool down necessarily during our day tomorrow, but it will set the stage for some freezing temperatures tonight, which could lead to some potential snowfall for some of us across the viewing area. We'll have more for you on that here in just a minute. High temperatures today, we're up into the 50s for a lot of us, 53 for our high in Effingham, 50 degrees in Charleston, 52 down to the southeast in Robinson. Right now, we're seeing these temperatures staying right around our daytime highs, 48 degrees under some sunny skies in Charleston, much of the rest of the area under some mostly cloudy skies. That'll be the case as we move forward tonight. 32 degrees for our low, so right at that freezing point here in Charleston. We do have the chance to see some mixed precipitation in the skies. Winds coming in from the north around 5 to 10 miles an hour consistently. Could be closer to 20 miles an hour during portions of our day tonight. And you can see that on our futurecast here as I roll this forward for you. It's going to be more overnight and into early Thursday morning. You see here right around 2:30, a narrow band of some precipitation making its way into east central Illinois. Now, a lot of us won't really be seeing a lot of this, and it won't really be dropping a lot of precipitation either. Some more northern areas around Champaign, especially along I-72, do have the chance to see some snow as this passes through, but a lot of us will see a potential freezing mix or some more rainfall, especially towards the southern portions of our area. We'll see those skies start to lighten up a little bit towards the start of our day tomorrow, but generally we're going to stay right around less than 1/4 of an inch as this system rolls through. During your daytime tomorrow, we'll see temperatures right around where they were today. 52 for our high tomorrow. You can see those skies starting to clear throughout the daytime tomorrow. And while we will see some winds starting to shift from the north, coming in from the southwest, especially towards the afternoon tomorrow, that'll help to lead to a warm-up that we'll see towards the end of our work week and the start of our weekend. You can see those skies starting to clear up here on our futurecast. A pretty sunny sky throughout a lot of our Thursday. As we look ahead, though, we will see those skies staying overhead for Friday. 60 degrees, so back near the 60s for our high to end our work week. We'll start to cool off right after that, though. 51 degrees on Saturday with partly cloudy skies. And back down near the freezing point on Sunday. Sunday night and into Monday is where we have the chance to see a potentially moderate snowfall event. We're not announcing any official figures yet, but it could be a pretty substantial amount of snowfall as we move forward. As we get closer to the start of March, Sunday is the first day of March. We're getting ever closer to the start of the spring season, only 23 days away from the vernal equinox, which means we've reached the official start of the spring season. That'll be taking place on Friday, March 20th this year. Looking at our 7-day forecast, we have a little bit of everything as we look ahead. 52 degrees for our high tomorrow under some partly cloudy skies. We'll stay clear on Friday, 60 degrees for our high to end the work week. And as we start the weekend, 51 degrees under some mostly clear skies. Again, Sunday into Sunday night and into Monday is where we have the best chance to see that snowfall across the area. We will stay a little bit cooler as we start next work week. 30 degrees for Monday, back up near the mid-30s for Wednesday. Right now we're above average for our average temperatures. You can see that in the upper portion of our screen there, around the mid to upper 40s for this time of year. As we look forward, we'll be a little bit above, but back to below, and it looks like we'll be back above average as we get into next weekend. Guys?
All right, thanks for that, Ben. Now in national news tonight, President Donald Trump shares a recap of his first year in office and discusses some new goals in his State of the Union address.
Karen Kaifa has more on what the president had to say.
President Trump Tuesday night painted a picture of the U.S. economy largely at odds with what economic data, polling, and consumer sentiment surveys show. And attacked Democrats' affordability agenda. As he entered the chamber, Trump greeted 3 of the 6 Supreme Court justices who ruled against his sweeping emergency tariffs on Friday, then later slammed their decision. The president also addressing foreign policy hotspots like Venezuela and Iran. And using an appearance by the Olympic champion U.S. men's hockey team to underscore his theme of America winning. Democrats rebutted the speech in different ways. Congressman Al Green of Texas was removed from the chamber early on for a protest. Dozens of other Democratic lawmakers attended a counter rally on the National Mall. But the official Democratic response was delivered by Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger, elected last November, and offering a preview of Democrats' potential midterm approach. On Capitol Hill, I'm Karen Kaifa.
In his address, the president declared our current state the golden age of America. Several Congress members expressed that they felt the president spent too much time attacking the Democratic Party and not enough time communicating directly to the American people. This address is considered the longest in history at 1 hour and 47 minutes, followed by President Bill Clinton's address in the year 2000.
15 states are suing the Trump administration over revisions to the childhood vaccine schedule. The lawsuit argues authorities illegally changed the recommendation status for several vaccines. It argues the administration violated federal law by replacing panelists on a CDC advisory committee with anti-vaccine activists, despite requirements that the committee be fairly balanced. The lawsuit argues the new vaccine schedule could harm children's health, but President Trump argues it's more reasonable and is better aligned with other countries. We now turn our attention to sports, and here with the latest is Pierce Lehman.
Thanks, Olivia. Tonight in sports, Eastern Illinois Track and Field completes the first day of the OVC Championship. We'll tell you how the Panthers did coming up. Also, EIU baseball continues to put in the work indoors with a constant road schedule. Thanks for watching. Your WEIU Sports Watch Report is coming up next. Tonight we begin on the track as the Ohio Valley Conference Track and Field Championship is in full swing. EIU completed the first day of the OVC Championship with the men's team in the 4th place and the women's team in 2nd place. Individually, Daniel Lacey placed first in the 200-meter preliminary round, and Abby Venhaus earned the gold medal in the women's long jump with a jump of 5.78 meters. And finally, the 4,000-meter relay team took home first place with a time of just over 12 minutes. The OVC Championship is continuing today, and Sports Watch will have a full recap on tomorrow's edition. We stay at EIU as the football team is adding familiar faces to its coaching staff. Casey Walker and former Panther Trajan Lewis will be joining the football staff for the upcoming season. Walker will take over the defensive line coaching duties, while Lewis will be the assistant defensive line coach. Lewis returns to Eastern after playing with the team from 2022 to 2024. The Panthers will hold their spring game on April 25th at O'Brien Field. With winter weather still blowing through Charleston, there is no rest for the OVC baseball regular season champs, EIU Panthers. What's the next step forward? Austin Perez has more on what the squad wants to do to take that next step.
Even in the cold February winter, the Eastern Illinois baseball team is putting in hard work in the midst of their non-conference slate. It doesn't help that the Panthers are on the road until their March 11th bout with Illinois Wesleyan, but Eastern's Bryce Riggs doesn't let it affect him and his teammates.
Staying in the hotels all 3 nights of the games definitely is a little bit different than being at home, but other than that, we're just lucky to go play baseball no matter where it is, and our guys know that, and we'll play anybody anywhere.
Last year, Eastern won the regular season title, but fell to Little Rock in the OVC Conference Tournament Championship. It'll be the Panthers' goal to turn this year into a double play of silverware. With a mostly returning squad of veterans, one of the breakouts for the team is James Love, who carries a .435 batting average so far this season and went for a double, a triple, and a homer against Arkansas State. Although he's putting up numbers, Love still has the OVC tournament finals on his mind.
It's just, you think about that every day, and there's not a day that goes by I don't think about that kind of emotional loss at the end of that game. It's good to see that. We always think about that. It's just a reason to get better every day.
Head coach Jason Anderson is going into his 11th season with Eastern. In last year's title-winning run, EIU only had one All-OVC position player. He trusts the system he set up.
It's kind of a system, and everybody works off each other. Our goal is to get to second base each and every inning, and then somebody needs to hit that guy in. We've got depth. We're just trying to get on the same page to where everybody's swinging it well and are confident right now.
In Charleston, I'm Austin Perez with WEIU Sports Watch.
Jason Anderson's lineup will pay a visit to his alma mater, the University of Illinois, on March 3rd. Anderson spent 3 seasons in the MLB before taking on a head coaching role at Eastern Illinois in 2011. Down to the high school level, the regional semifinals round of the IHSA playoffs are tonight. Let's take a peek at who's in action. Number 3 seeded Mattoon is squaring off against number 6 seeded Bethalto with a tip-off at 7:30 in Jerseyville. Mount Zion is playing Springfield and Lincoln, and the Muhammad Seymour Bulldogs will face off against Urbana in Normal. Number 1 seeded Tuscola will be hosting Shiloh, and number 2 seeded Casey Westfield will be hosting Heritage. Sports Watch will have the full recap tomorrow night. Now to the NBA as a struggling Bulls squad takes on the Charlotte Hornets and a familiar face. Welcome back to Chi-Town Kobe White as he hits his first three-pointer as a Hornet against his former team. Now it's Charlotte playing top-tier defense as Moussa Diabate blocks Josh Giddey from getting the basket. The Bulls go for another basket and Diabate blocks it again. White passes the ball down to LaMelo Ball, who dishes it back to Kobe White, and he splashes it in without hesitation. It's about time we show Bulls highlights as Matas Buzelis drives into the rim for the leaping layup, and it's all tied up. But this is where the Hornets start to pull away, absolutely dominating the Bulls 131-99. Chicago now has 10 losses in a row, the longest losing streak since January of 2019. After losing their last 3 games, the Indiana Pacers look to get back in the win column as they host the Philadelphia 76ers. We start off early in this one as Jay Huff shows his playmaking skills and Cam Jones drains this 3 to add to the Pacers' lead. Now in the second, Jarris Walker misses the 3, gets a rebound and makes a behind-the-back pass to Mika Porter, who gets the and 1. Now the 76ers, Tyrese Maxey, works a little magic himself, going behind the back through the crowd, passes it to Joel Embiid, who slams it down, adding to lead. And it's Maxey time again, this time putting the Pacers in a spin cycle. The 76ers dominate the Pacers 135-114. Indiana is now 15-44 on the year. The Pacers will look to end their now 4-game losing streak tomorrow when they host the Charlotte Hornets at 6. Finally tonight, we are now a week into MLB spring training, and all 3 local teams have been dealing. The Cardinals have gone 3-2 in their first 5 games. Nathan Church and Nolan Gorman are the only Cardinals to hit a home run. Offseason headliner Alex Bregman made his Cubs debut. The North Side has gone 2-4 in their first 6 games, while Japanese star Mutaka Murakami makes his MLB debut for the White Sox. They have gone 4-2 in their first few games. That's all for sports. Olivia, Matt, back to you.
Thanks, Pierce. Ben Whitney returns in just a moment for a final check of the Skywatch forecast.
But first, we'll bring you the winners of a unique winter contest in Minnesota. Thanks for watching. This is Newswatch on WEIU.
Underlying all of my work is the political message that you are an agent of history, that you are an agent of history.
Tom Morello is switching gears. The musician and activist has canceled his spring solo concerts to join Bruce Springsteen's Land of Hope and Dreams American tour. Springsteen made a guest appearance at Morello's Defend Minnesota concert last month in Minneapolis. Morello says he's joining Springsteen's tour in the spirit of freedom, justice, and rock and roll.
Time is running out, and they're going to destroy any hope of a tomorrow up here.
Change happens when a few determined individuals make it happen.
We need to take matters into our own hands.
Mars is ours! Mars is ours!
Settlers on the Red Planet chafe at Earth trying to control them from 140 million miles away in Season 5 of For All Mankind. The official trailer shows a new generation and some familiar faces in the alternate timeline space race series, which returns March 27th on Apple TV. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
We leave you tonight with a follow-up on a witty, wintry contest in Minnesota. Last month, we told you about the Minnesota Department of Transportation's Name a Snowplow contest. The contest allowed residents to submit names for plows, then allowed voters to pick from the top 30 submissions. Now, officials have announced the 8 winning names. Those include, of course, Flurious George, Every Day I'm Shoveling, and Sled Zeppelin. Each of the state's 8 highway districts gets its own specific named plow. Well, snowplows here in Illinois have been on quite the break lately. Ben Whitney is back with a final check of the Skywatch forecast.
Well, they may have to rev up those engines this weekend. We do have a chance for some pretty decent snowfall as we end our weekend. Before then, though, we do have a chance for some light snowfall or some mixed precipitation tonight. 32 degrees for our low in Charleston. We'll see those highs getting back up into the 50s for our day tomorrow. 52 for our high. We'll see clearing skies and winds starting to shift in from the southwest. We'll see temperatures warming for Friday, 60 degrees for our high, then eventually starting to cool down to 30 degrees to start next work week on Monday. We will start to get a little bit warmer by the middle of next work week, 35 degrees on Wednesday. We will see a nice end of this work week, though. Temperatures up into the 60s, which I know, Olivia, you are going to be very happy to see.
You are very right about that. That's exactly what I was about to say. I cannot wait. Well, thank you, Ben, for that updated forecast. And that's all the time we have for tonight's edition of News Watch. For more news and weather, be sure to log on to our website at WEIU.net.
There you'll find real-time forecasts as well as the news video of the day.
And if news is happening in your community, let us know by dropping us an email at news@weiu.net.
Have a good night and join us tomorrow at 5:30 for another edition of News Watch.
The Charleston House proudly supports Newswatch. Now welcoming guests on Charleston's historic 6th Street, the Charleston House Bed and Breakfast Inn offers refined accommodations in a beautifully restored bed and breakfast. For booking information, visit craigcollection.com or call the number on screen.
TCI Realty, Charleston area's real estate connection. Commercial, land and farm, and residential real estate. Experienced realtors with an up-to-date website at tcirealty.net. TCI Realty supports the students of WEIU Newswatch.
Alamo Steakhouse and Saloon. Whatever the occasion, it's an environment for an evening of dining, conversation, and cocktails. Whatever your needs, our staff is ready. Alamo Steakhouse and Saloon, located at the Cross County Mall, Mattoon.